Okay, everybody, Wild-Billiam here with you again today. I don't have any audio on this one because I was listening to Lady Locks live last week when I did this. So this is the DeGuard 5-pin uh, pin-in-pin dimple lock, the Mul-T-Lock clone. I will say that if you're going to buy these from UHS Hardware, make sure you know what size you're getting. The 1-inch Kenaurd, rather, I may have said DeGuard. Kenaurd is actually a 4-pin pin-in-pin, and I do think I've seen some of the videos that it doesn't even have the same security pins that this one does. On the DeGuard, the 1-inch is a 4-pin pin-in-pin with the interactive element, so it's like a Mul-T-Lock interactive 4-pin. So sorry about the angle here. I'm still tinkering around with this new camera rig I've got. Working with a Z-bar from my bare bones dimple pick set, and then a multi-pick flag. I can't remember, maybe not the number 11 or something like that. It's the smaller one. I use the bigger one and the smaller one and work kind of upside down with the flag from that side of the warding. I do go back and forth a little bit just to make it easier on myself when I'm having a hard time getting to a pin and working with that Z-bar in the way. I sped this up quite a bit just because this is a fairly long video otherwise. Just happened to turn on the camera while I was listening to the live and got lucky with this one. Got it open. I will say that for the price, these are fun little locks. I highly recommend that if you're getting into dimple locks and you want to learn pin in pin, to pick one of these up. They are a blast to work with. It's a good way to learn that pin in pin style dimple lock for the price. One of my springs, and this one's a little messed up from getting dropped in the floor and getting stepped on at my work. I have some more Mul-T-Lock style springs on the way to replace it, but it still worked well enough to do this. I think you'll be able to see. And then one of the springs in this thing is just absolutely stuck, and I think trapped by the little brass strip at the top of the Bible on this mortise cylinder. I tried in this video to get it up. I sped that section up really, really high, trying to find a tool to try to pick it out of there. I just could not get it out of there. I sped the whole thing up overall because this would probably have been like a 20 to 25 minute video otherwise. So here we go. I got it open. So here I go, digging through everything I have, realizing that I wasn't expecting to get this open, and I needed my lock gutting things, and then trying to find a tool to get that spring out. I still cannot get it out. I've tried it with some different picks and things like that. I can get a hold of it, but it just must be trapped on that brass strip, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's not worth the effort to try to pull it out. I'm not trying to get a belt or anything here with this blue belt Kenaurd. So the 5-pin Kenaurd is a blue belt lock, while the 4-pin variant is a green belt. And on the DeGuard, the 1-inch is a blue belt with the 4 pins is a blue belt variant, while the 1 1/8 and 1 1/4 inch are considered purple belt. And I will say I'm working on the DeGuard, and it's a totally different animal. The keyway is a lot wider, so I'm having to play around with some different flags to try to figure out what works best to try to get some of those pins up, because some of them, especially that interactive element, go extremely high in that keyway. Here we are about to get to the point where I go ahead. I've gutted the lock already. Sorry, the camera angle was so messed up I didn't even realize it at the time. So I'm going to, work on arranging my pins, including the pin in pin my autofocus was just playing havoc while I'm trying to do this, unfortunately. So I will say this is a fun little lock, but it's a tricky one. So I'm going to go ahead here and get the drivers out of the top. This one, from what I understand, the 4-pin variant of this Kenaurd may not have the security pins that this one does. This one has serrated driver pins in the top of it. I don't think it makes that much of a difference in the lock over a standard pin with these, but it's possible that it does. I've not tried the greenbelt variant. I didn't buy it when I bought these. I got the blue and the purple, the blue Kenaurd and the purple DeGuard. So you can see here I'm missing a spring. I just could not get that spring out for the life of me. I think I'm grabbing some picks and things here, just trying to get that out. Trying to use the flag first, and I can kind of get it a little bit. I think here I reach over and grab one of my Jimmy Long's hooks and try to get it out. It just won't come out. I think that brass strip has got it trapped. But, you know, if you're getting into dimple locks and you don't want to buy those Abus padlocks that are dimple that have the extremely tiny keyway, get these. I think they're $25 a piece for both of these. They come with a shed load of keys, which I think is completely unnecessary, but it's a fun lock. Here I go digging through drawers trying to find a paper clip or something in my messy desk drawer here. But a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. I actually worked on this one during my live a week or so ago from today. This is Saturday the 20th that I'm doing this voiceover and getting ready to publish the video finally. You know, struggled with this one a lot. Blue Scooby Wagon gave me some really good tips. I was tensioning this thing in a weird direction. I was able to get it open, tensioning to where the pins almost drop down into the open side of the keyway. But it works really better if you do a counterclockwise tension on this one. I was able to finally get some really good feedback from the flags and the tensioner doing it that way. Like I said, I highly recommend you give this lock a try if you're learning dimple locks, especially if you're here in the United States, where they're a lot harder to come by. There aren't really that many American manufacturers of these types of locks. You know, it's just, with everything going on right now with trying to get imports in the United States, the cost is either insane or some of the postal services just will not ship to the U.S. right now. So, you know, get out there and learn these. I bought my multi-pick flags from Lockpicker's Bench. The bare bones stuff I bought before the tariff thing went into effect, so I did get lucky that way. If you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. I'm not trying to make any money off of this. I just think it's a lot of fun learning to pick these locks. You know, just getting out there and trying to make friends. I'm always available on the Reddit or the Discord that'll be linked in the video. If you have a question, my username in Reddit and the Lockpickers United Discord are exactly the same as they are here on YouTube. I was lucky enough to pick an oddball enough handle that I could do that on most things. There's a couple of things that I have that are a little different, but there are links in my channel that will take you all the other places that I'm at. I did just recently add a Facebook page to post a little bit of this just for fun. Have an Instagram as well. So here we go. This slowed back down to normal, so you can see those serrated pins. You got to make sure you put the pins back in the right way so that the serrations are at the bottom of the Bible.